Good evening. Tonight we're going to have a little bit of Nebbiolo. This is by Vajra. It's a Langhe Nebbiolo 2017. Vajra is a really top-notch producer from the Piedmont area, basically Barolo. They make Barolo, they make Dolcetta, they make Langhe, they make Barbera, but they don't make Barbaresco. It's really Barolo. They have the Albe Barolo, which is the kind of entry level, and they have single vineyards like Brico de Vece, Ravera and Costa. Some of the other vineyards, and I'm not necessarily, I can't really list them all, but those are very expensive. They have this Langhe that I opened up. We're having some pizzas at home, and this sounded like the perfect match for that. These Langhe Nebbiolos from these top producers like Roagna, we had one together, a couple actually, and these guys and Vieti and others are basically pretty high quality vines and grapes to begin with from that Barolo vineyards, but they tend to be some of the younger vines and younger vines that they don't really want to put in their flagship Barolos, so they will use them in these Langhe, and as they age out and they rotate and they plant new vines, they'll always have grapes. For these Langhes are supposed to be easier to drink young, they're fresher, they age primarily in stainless steel. That's very little bit of neutral oak, even for the aging, 8 to 10 months, and then they're bottled and they're ready to go. And they also picked early in the morning. They feel it gives them more youth and vibrancy. The Nebbiolo and Piedmont area is a little bit of a later harvest area, end of September, beginning of October. The altitude really helps with that. So even in 2017, which was a sort of a very hot, like a very cold winter, then a hot summer, that with the altitude, they even helped them avoid the frost from April because they're above that level of humidity in the altitude. And the summer, they had nice cooler evenings, which kind of gave the grapes the time to really ripen. And 2017 ended up being a pretty good vintage in Piedmont. Anyway, this is the background on this vineyard. We're going to have some Barolos from these guys together, and maybe we'll get more into the family and the history when we do that. I just wanted to quickly share this wine. You look at the wine here, the color is pretty light. And again, this is a very young Nebbiolo, but it's still very long, very light. It's really the typical color of the Nebbiolo. It's clear. It's got this sort of, vibrant, tint to it, and on the nose, it's a lot of fruit. It's not a very alcohol. I don't know how much it is. It's hidden by the label. It doesn't feel like a very alcoholic, although maybe it is. And you get the fruit, you get a little bit of the raw rose petal, and you get this sort of a little bit of the, I want to say the happiness, but the kind of the brightness that comes with a young wine like this. It's got nice tannins, so they're there, you feel them. It's got a little bit of that sort of incense, slash old, maybe, I don't want to say leather because it sounds something like more material than just fruit or something hard. I don't know, iron, incense, rock, whatever, something like that. It just comes through, and the fruit is just still very present. The tannins, the finish stays on the tongue, really primarily because maybe of the tannins. It's really a little bit of a sour cherry, so it's not a very sweet wine. It's really a little bit more on the acidic, a little bit sour, very, very vibrant, but that sort of, you know, hard stuff, you know, core that also keeps it grounded, if I may say that. It's very good. I mean, it's really, for it, like, this is a $25 bottle of wine. It's terrific to have and open up just without any much notice. And the 2017s in particular, I've had even Barbarescos from 2017. They seem to be just particularly ready to drink, even though these wines typically really need a very long time. So 2017, and I've had it in Tuscany, in Barbaresco, in Nebbiolo, and Langhe. It's just really something that's a little bit more ready to drink than even the 18 and the 19. Really a great wine for what it is, and really good in general. Cheers. See you soon.